Hello everyone, welcome to the episode of Whiteboard series. In this episode, I'm going to explain what is time. In previous episodes, I've explained what is time, but it was through words. But in this episode, I'm going to explain what is time through the help of whiteboard, that is through diagrams, so that it will help you understand what is time in a better manner. So to begin with, time is directly proportional to desires. So more the desires, more the time. No desires, no time. So I want you to digest this concept for at least 1 minute. So I'll give you 1 minute to digest the concept. Time is directly proportional to desires. So we will start. 3, 2, 1, go. I hope you have digested this concept. That is, time is directly proportional to desires. Once again, more the desires, more the time. No desires, no time. So that is the simplest way we can describe time. As we know, Sadashiva is the state of consciousness which is completely at rest. That is, it is 100% aware. However, it is not doing anything. It is not taking any action. Whereas the consciousness which is inside the Maya is always doing something. It is always dreaming about universes, about galaxies, planets, and all that. So basically, what do I mean by consciousness? Consciousness is thinking capacity. That is the ability to think. So Sadashiva is the consciousness which is in the original state. It's not thinking. However, it can think. It can create universes. A single thought of Sadashiva can create universes. So that is what Garbhodakshaya Vishnu means. In the causal realm, the desires are very less, very mild, very subtle. However, one single thought of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, that is the cause inside the causal realm, as I told in the previous videos, causal realm is the womb of Tripura Sundari, astral realm is the womb of Kali, physical realm is the womb of Tripura Bhairavi. So the physical planets are gross in nature, astral planets are subtle in nature, that is, they are made of the dream elements, that is, it is made up of the mind. The physical realm is made up of the body, that is the 5 senses, and causal realm is made up of the minutest desire forces, the subtle desire forces, like I want to live, I want to dream, that I am, I want to exist. All those things are there in causal realm. The final I, that is the naked ego, I would call it. Naked ego in the sense, it's not like I want to be the king of the multiverse, not that kind of ego, just I. So that I is there in the causal realm. So all the Garbhodakshaya Vishnus, right, they don't have ego, they have that minutest desire, it's like I want to exist, like that. So basically they are operating in the Sahasrara Chakra, the causal beings, and the astral beings are operating in the Ajna, Vishuddha and Anahata. So they don't have the below 3 chakras, that is Manipura, Swadhisthana, Muladhara. They have only the upper 3 chakras, that is Ajna, Vishuddha and Anahata. Their Sahasrara chakra is not that active. However, when we go to the causal realm, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnus are operating only in the Sahasrara. That is, their lower chakras have been extinguished. So basically they are our future self. So all these beings, right, like astral beings, causal beings, are our future self. Now we are in the descended state, that is, now we are human beings. As we evolve, we become astral beings. Then again when we evolve, we become causal beings. So that is the process of evolution. That is, in the previous lives, we have been animals, birds, insects, non-living things and all that. So now we have come till human beings. Now we have to evolve more by questioning more, by meditating more. We have to evolve. In the physical realm, right, it is made up of the 3 dimension to 4 dimension. What I mean by that is, the physical realm is not 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional. Your interpretation is 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional. That is, the whole universe, right now also, it is multi-dimensional. It is beyond 7 dimensions. Everything, the ground that I'm standing on, the air that I'm breathing, everything, the whole room, the whole universe is multi-dimensional. We don't even know how much dimension it has. It is multi-dimensional. Even our consciousness is multi-dimensional, similar to universe. So there is no difference between our consciousness and the universe. The universe is equal to our consciousness, because the universe is a name given to the consciousness's mind. So universe is the mind of the consciousness. So the whole universe, that is the causal, astral, physical, everything is going on inside the mind of the consciousness. So the consciousness is Sadashiva, and the universe, the multiverse, right, the causal, astral, physical, is inside the mind of Sadashiva. So nothing is going on outside the mind. Everything is going on inside the mind. So all these are thought processes. The causal realm, astral realm, physical realm are thought processes of Sadashiva. So now what I was saying is, everything is multidimensional. Right now also, the space that I'm standing on, the air that I'm breathing, my own consciousness, my mind, my body, everything is multidimensional. However, my interpretation is three-dimensional. That is, my desires make me restricted to be a part of the three dimension, that is length, breadth, height and time only in the linear mode. That is, I can't skip time, I can't go back in time. That is, I can just experience time in the linear mode. But if I meditate enough, I can travel in time. So we have the capacity to become four-dimensional. That is inside the physical realm itself. We'll be able to see the future, we can see the past very clearly. So all these skills, right, will be developed if you meditate hard enough. So on what you have to meditate? You have to meditate on this concept. That is, time is directly proportional to desires. So you have to kill all the desires inside you and you have to stay in that zero state. Zero state being no thoughts. Because every thought, right, is your karma. So people ask me, what is karma? Karma is not something given by the universe. Karma is your thoughts. Whenever you meditate, if some thought is disturbing you, like it may be regarding your ex, it may be regarding your parents, friends, or job, finance, emotional state, or whatever, all that thoughts, right, is your karma. So if you are able to kill your thoughts, if you are able to stop those thoughts, that means that you have no karma. But if the thoughts are bothering you, if it comes and goes without your voluntary effort, then that means that you have no control over your karma. But if you are able to stop all the thoughts, that means that you have complete control over your karma. You can kill your karma anytime you want. So karma is basically desires itself. All the thoughts that are generating in your mind right now are your karma. So everything is same. That is, desire is same as karma, karma is same as thought processes, and all these things, right, are directly proportional to time. Only because of your thoughts, because of your desires, because of your karma, time exists. If you are able to stop all the thought processes, then time does not exist. So you can stay in that zero state for how much ever long time you want. So we can stay in that state. Let us try. So when I count from 3, 2, 1, you have to stop all the thought processes. So we will start. 3, 2, 1, go. So now you can open your eyes. So when I told to close your eyes and stop the thought processes, you were in a state of zero. There was no time for you. So that space, right, that mind space where you don't have any thoughts, you don't have any desires. So that is nothing but Sadashiva. But that was like a mild way of experiencing Sadashiva. You can go more deeper actually. The more you stay in that zero, the more you will be able to shift time. That is, you can go to the past, you can go to the future inside the physical realm itself. So that is what astral beings have developed. There is the astral beings have developed the ability to travel in time of the physical realm. So if an astral being wants, he can see the future of a human being, past of a human being. He can see how Kali Yuga will end. He can see how Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga or Satya Yuga will start. Everything he can see. That whole cycle, right, of all the 4 yugas, he can see, the astral being. However, human beings are restricted because they are left brain, that is the Shiva Tattva, is not developed enough to understand time in arbitrary fashion. It is only developed enough to understand time in linear fashion, because the desires are restricting a human being to travel in time. The desires being the lower 3 chakra desires, that is the desire for money, fame, power, desire for sex, desire for food and sleep, that is of the lower 3 chakras, that is Manipura, Swadhisthana and Mooladhara chakra desires are restricting the consciousness to be inside time of the physical realm. So if a physical being or human being meditates hard enough, he can experience the 4th dimension, that is time, in arbitrary fashion. However, now in default state, he can only experience 3 dimension in arbitrary fashion. The 4th dimension is always linear in fashion. So now how to become an astral being? How to experience the 4D, 5D? To do that, you have to know how to stay in that zero state, that is the Sadashiva state, for longer time. So now I told you to experience Sadashiva for 1 minute, but you have to experience the thoughtless state for maybe 3 hours to travel in time actually. To boost the process, I will give a technique. So you can think about the most sorrowest moment of your life, which may be regarding your ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, or someone who has hurted you very, very much, like some trauma in your life. So that you can think of. And another is the most happiest moment, which you might have experienced before or which you might not have experienced before, which you may be wanting to experience. Let's say like going on a date with your crush, or going out on honeymoon with your wife, husband, whoever, or with your parents, or dogs, or cats, whatever. So you have to think about the most happiest moment of your life on one part, and another is the most saddest moment. So why am I telling you to experience these scenarios? Is because human beings are not developed enough to stay in the zero state for very long. However, they are very good in rewinding the past. They are very good in experiencing the trauma again and again. They are very good in daydreaming. So that is why I'm giving this very powerful method of traveling in time. So now if you have that scenarios in mind, there is 2 scenarios, one being the most traumatic incident of your life and another being the most happiest moment of your life. So now I want you to experience that. As we go to deeper meditative states, that is after closing the eyes, I want you to go to the most saddest traumatic moment of your life. So now let us go. Just for an example, in my case it was the moments I spent with my ex, which was both traumatic and beautiful. That is, as I close my eyes, I can just go to the day when I first met her. That is first when I met her online, and I can go to the day where we experienced the beautiful days of love. That is the butterflies in the mind, everything. Like hold it, thinking about each other. And so the time spent in like loving like babies. So we used to love each other like how 2 babies or 2 puppies would. So that is the beautiful days of the relationship. So I can just experience that again. When we used to laugh for the same joke, when we used to cry for the same moments, and it was very beautiful. So I can just experience that again, as if I'm reliving it. At the same time, I can experience the breakup also, the traumatic moment of my life, where both misunderstood each other. The love faded away. We started hating each other and all that. Yeah, so we can relive this moment, both the happiest and saddest moment of our life. We can relive it in the past. Similarly, now we can relive the future also. Let us say the future being going on a date with your crush. So let us experience that also. So what I am experimenting with this mind techniques is that we can travel both to past and future through the help of mind. That is, if you meditate hard enough, like now you just did it for 1 minute, right? But in your own meditation session, that is after the video, you can just switch off everything, switch off all your mobile phone, laptop, everything, and just sit for meditation and go to the most saddest and happiest moment of your life, that is the past and the future, and experience it for yourself, the traveling in time. Your mind is capable enough to travel in time. However, if you do it only for 1 day, it will not work. You have to do it at least for 1 month. So if you do it for 1 month, all that past events, right, will start becoming clearer and clearer. All the future moments, that is your date with your crush or honeymoon with your husband, wife, whatever, that is the future event which has not yet happened. It can be anything. It may be showing your parents some gift or whatever, or going out with your dog to some beach. So imagine some beautiful moment in the future. So you can experience it in HD clarity, that is 4K 60 FPS in the mind. Your mind is capable. So as you do that for 1 month, all the scenarios, right, will start becoming more and more vivid, and you will feel like you're reliving it, even though you're still in the physical realm. So that is the step of becoming four-dimensional. So slowly, you will realize that even the moment that you're living in right now is a memory. That is, the Aditya's whole life, right, is just a memory for Shiva. So the Sadashiva, when it enters the Maya, it chooses a character. For example, now it has chosen Aditya as the character to experience the universe. Universe being its own mind. So if universe is the own mind of Sadashiva, then that means that every character, right, they are like neurons. So Aditya is a neuron. You may be Rakesh, Suresh, whoever you are. You are also a neuron. So the Sadashiva is experiencing your storyline, your character storyline, because it wants to rewind the memory, similar to how we just now rewinded the traumatic moment, how we imagined the future event. Similarly, even the Sadashiva, right, is currently experiencing the past being the story of the characters like Aditya, Suresh, Ramesh, John, Jason, whoever. So all these characters are neurons of Shiva's mind. So the Maya, that is the womb of Tripura Sundari, is the place where Shiva's thought processes, right, work. And Sadashiva is the place where Shiva completely stops thinking. So now Shiva, that is us, we are dreaming. We are dreaming of the old memories. Old memories being the storylines of the characters. We have already gone beyond space-time of the physical, space-time of the astral, space-time of the causal. We have gone beyond all the time. We have reached the desireless state trillions of years later. That is the consciousness. Our consciousness has evolved and gone to the Sadashiva state already. It has gone beyond the space-time. But now that same consciousness which has evolved is rewinding its memory. It's coming back to its past. And many people ask me, so if Sadashiva is rewinding his memory, is going to the past memories of the characters, then when did the events first take place? So the answer to that question is that storyline, right, of the characters, the Maya, it is permanent in nature. It is not temporary. It is not going in sequence. We are experiencing the storyline in sequence because we are three-dimensional in nature. For us, time is linear in fashion. However, for Sadashiva, time is not linear. It is permanent. So, he can go to Aditya's past life, or Aditya when he was a baby, or Aditya when he was an adult. He can go to any point of Aditya's life, any point of Ramesh's life, any point of Suresh's life, any point. He can go to any time, anywhere. So that means that once you become multidimensional, then you can go to any character's life, however you want to. And all that is inside the mind, is going on inside the mind, not outside the mind. There is nothing outside the mind. This is the whole mind. And outside the mind, there is no lila, there are no thoughts. There is no karma, there is no desires. Everything is happening inside the mind. So the whole world which you are looking at right now is not actually outside, it is inside. Now you are thinking it's outside is because you are inside a character. Once you detach from the desires of the character, then you will experience your real mind. Now you are experiencing the mind of the character, which is like experiencing your own neuron. However, once you detach from the desire of the character, desire of Aditya, desire of Suresh, Ramesh, whoever you are, you will experience your real mind, which is the entire universe. So get rid of your desire of the character to experience your real mind, which is the universe. So once you experience that, you can go to the state where you can travel in time however you want. And that question won't arise only. When did the event first take place? Because the event is permanent in nature. Everything is predestined. So all the memories, right, which may be of Aditya, which may be of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, or Krishna, Kali, Baglamukhi, or Donald Trump, Modi, Brandon, whoever you are, it is permanent in nature. The storyline is permanent and nobody can change it, because that belongs to the brain of Shiva. This is the brain, and how every neuron works, right? Like how every neuron transmits information from one place to another place. For example, me being a neuron, I am transmitting information to you, and you are understanding it. So you are developing. So as neurons, the physical realm, beings are developing by understanding spirituality. So physical beings are now developing and they are becoming astral in nature. Then astral beings are developing, then they are becoming causal in nature. Finally, the whole thought processes will fade away. Once all the Vishnus, right, once all the dreamers start realizing their true nature, that is multidimensional nature, that time all the lower realms like the physical astral will fade away. Then everyone will go back to Sadashiva. There is no everyone, there is only one actually. That is the pure thoughtless state of consciousness. That is the original one. That original thoughtless state is coming back to its thought forms. So that is why it is experiencing time, because every thought is connected with the desire. For example, now let's say I am closing my eyes. So I am getting a thought of whether I have done grocery shopping or not. So this thought of grocery shopping is linked with the desire of Muladhara chakra, that is desire of food. So similarly, every desire, right, is related to your chakra. For example, Muladhara is desire for food and sleep. Swadhisthana desire for sex, Manipura desire for money, fame, power, and Anahata desire for love, Vishuddha desire to communicate, Ajna desire to think, Sahasrara desire to exist. So every thought is connected to one of the desire of one of the chakra. Since the physical beings are having desires of the lower three chakras, we are restricted to the space-time of the physical. If you detach from the desire of the lower three chakras, then you will go to the space-time of the astral. And similarly, once you detach from the desire of the astral chakras, that is Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, that time you go to the causal. Then if you escape the space-time of the causal, the Sahasrara chakra desire, then finally you go back to Sadashiva. So basically you just have to detach from the desire forces to experience time however you want. So the truth is, there is no time. Time is an illusion created by your desire. For example, now I have a desire to eat pizza. So for this event to take place, that is going to Domino's, ordering a pizza and eating it, for this event to take place, there must be a sequence of events. That sequence of events is called as time. So that new dimension that is getting created for that desire to take place is called as time. So if I didn't have that desire to begin with, that is of eating a pizza, then there would be no time. So that is the nature of time. You people might be thinking, how did I get this knowledge of time so much? This was given by Mahavidya Dhoomavati. Dhoomavati being the most oldest Mahavidya. So this is Mahavidya Dhoomavati. So Mahavidya Dhoomavati, right? I was doing her puja one day. That is, I do her puja every day. This is all the Mahavidya puja I do every day. So when I was doing the puja of Dhoomavati, what happened was everything switched off. The lights switched off because the current went out, and only my arti was visible. That is the fire. So when I was doing her arti, that time Mahavidya Dhoomavati told me, Aditya, why are you reliving the past memories? But she didn't call me Aditya, she called me Shiva. Shiva, why are you reliving the old memories? There is something inside me responded to her, saying, I love these memories. Then I asked her, what is the truth? So she took me to a place or a scenario or a time where everything was destructed. That is, there was no physical realm, there was no astral realm, there was no causal realm. Everything was shredded to pieces. Whole earth was in pieces. The solar system, sun, galaxies, the astral planets, causal planets, everything, Vishnu, Lakshmi, no one is there. Just full of destructed debris. And I asked Dhoomavati, so what is this? What is this place? She told, It is a phase of time where the Sadashiva is not interested in playing the Maya, Leela. So the Sadashiva now enters the Leela to experience his desires, to have fun. But Mahavidya Dhoomavati is in a time where everything is distracted and Sadashiva no longer wants to enter the Leela because the Leela is not there basically. It's completely destroyed. So the womb of Dhoomavati, right? The Leela is not fun because the whole universe has collapsed. It has been ended by some kind of Pralaya being the doomsday. And during that phase, Sadashiva is not at all interested to play the Leela because there is no biotic species to enter. Sadashiva is in the Sadashiva state itself. He is in conversation with Dhoomavati. He is asking Dhoomavati, what is the meaning if everything is destroyed? So the meaning is, there is no purpose of life, basically. Happiness, sorrow, creation, destruction, everything is same. It is just Leela. So if you are attached with the happy moments, then you are bound to experience the sad moments. For example, if you are attached with being in love with your crush or being in love with your parents or being in love with the festivals or partying, having fun with your friends, if you're attached with those moments, then you're bound to experience the sad moments like death of a loved one, death of your favorite pet, destruction of your favorite thing. So you're bound to experience the sadness. But at the end of the day, nothing makes sense. There is both happy moments, sad moments are same. It is only being experienced because of your attachment to the character. The day you leave the character, the day you detach from the character, that is the day you experience the truth, your true mind being the entire universe. So the moral of the story is, you are inside everyone, you are inside everything, you are everything, at the same time, you are nothing. So thanks for watching this video. We'll meet in the next video. Jai Mahakal.